Hello, this is Kathy, the art teacher from Arch Projects for Kids. I'm very happy to say that over the years my website has helped millions of kids learn how to draw. In today's drawing video, I'll be showing you how to draw like Matisse. He was a big fan of simple shapes and lots of patterns, and this is my favorite way to draw and paint like him. Let me show you how. Before we get started, you do need to gather your art supplies of a pencil, permanent black marker, crayons, and watercolor paper. It's a little thicker than regular paper and really does make your paint colors look as bright as they can be. I highly recommend it. My favorite type of watercolor paint is this liquid kind. It's really so much easier to work with than tablets, as students don't have to worry about how much water to mix in. They can just go ahead and paint. Also, you're going to need some cups for the paint and a brush too, of course. Okay, step number 1. This Matisse painting has some big, simple shapes, starting with a vase that is going to go right here. It begins with a straight line for the top, then has the right curved side, and then you need to add a matching left side. Step number 2, draw a very simple flower in the top right corner. It's just a circle with some simple petal shapes around it. Then connect this flower to the vase with a stem and add a couple of leaves. Step number 3, the flower on the right side has a side view, so the middle is just an oval with a half of a flower showing below it. This flower is also going to need a stem and some leaves. Step number 4, the last flower, the one on the left, is drawn the same way as the first one. And it also gets a stem and a couple of leaves on the side. Step number 5. All right, now comes the table shape that goes underneath the vase. Matisse would famously draw them very flat looking. That means you just need to draw a large circle like this and then add 2 lines for the sides. Step number 6. Next come the lines for the background walls. All you need to do is draw one long vertical line that looks like this and goes off to the right, around the table, and then angles down on the left side. Step number 7. All right, the basic shapes for this painting are done, so it's time to trace them with a black marker. Make sure it's permanent so it doesn't run when you paint over them with your watercolor paints. I like to use this marker that has a medium-sized tip, so they make a line that you can really see and cover up those pencil lines pretty well. Now, even though most of my pencil lines are covered up, there's still just a few that are showing. So I'm going to take a minute here to erase them before I go any further. Step number 8. The next step is to color in some of these smaller shapes with crayons. I'm going to start with those flowers. The centers are going to be purple, and then I'm filling in light blue around them. But feel free to use whatever colors you want. Just be sure to press hard so they really show up well. The other small shapes that need to be colored in are those stems and the leaves. I'm using a medium shade of green and pressing pretty hard so the wax keeps the paint from sticking to any of them. That's why this is called a watercolor resist painting. All right, now it is pattern time. All of the remaining shapes are just going to get some fun patterns added inside, starting with this vase. The top of the table gets some crayon lines too. I think I'm going to use the same crayon to add some stripes below, but please feel free to use whatever crayon colors and patterns you like. That small wall on the left is going to need some patterns too. I think a few green lines are going to do the job. For the large wall in the background, I'm going to add some really large zigzag lines. Start on one side and go across, skipping over any of the shapes that you run into. Just take a guess as to what they might look like and try not to worry if they're not perfect. Matisse had fun making his patterns, so you should too. Now for something a little different. It's also fun to work with a white crayon when you're making a watercolor resist painting. The trick is that you won't be able to see what you're drawing at first, so whatever pattern you choose, just be sure to go over it a couple of times to make it really thick. I'm going to try to fill my floor in with some swirl patterns. Step number 9. Okay, now it's finally painting time. I'm starting with a little liquid paint in a cup, along with a little water to clean my brush between each color. You'll see that the waxy crayon line actually resists the watercolor, so you can just paint right over them. I'm starting with orange and working slowly around those flowers and leaves. I'm switching to some red paint for that small wall on the left. Notice how I'm using only a small amount of paint and I'm spreading it around a lot. It really helps to keep colors from running into each other. Now comes the paint for the floor. I'm going to switch over to a purple color for that. See how well those white swirl lines turned out? It did really help that I pressed hard and went over them twice. White lines do need to be extra thick to show up well. And I think I'm going to paint my vase purple too, because that table will separate it from the floor. Then comes some green paint for that tabletop. You can see that you don't really need that much paint, and if you spread it around, you can control it pretty well. The final shape to color is the side of the table. I'm glad I put some yellow stripes on it as they stand out pretty well from that blue paint. Okay then, this Matisse painting is all done, and all that's left to do is clean up and let it dry. Hey, I hope you enjoyed learning a little bit more about how to draw and paint like Matisse. He was famous for how much he loved bright colors and patterns. I think it's always fun to try out someone else's ideas for yourself and then see what happens. To learn more about other famous artists, please check out my website, Art Projects for Kids. I have fun projects for Pablo Picasso and Frida Kahlo. Thanks again, and I hope to see you back here soon.